open forum with a special presentation on the front side about Dallas County Communications from Chief Vaughn. Chief.
Good evening. So I'll try to give a general overview and try to make it fairly quick about the changes that are coming through with our radio system. As most of you are probably aware, myself and Lori Riley are representatives for the city on the 911 board. That board meets usually quarterly to discuss how to spend funds in regards to our 911 system, where those phone lines are, how they're answered in the servers and computers, and how we maintain those funds and how they're directed. About 2 years ago, just before probably I came into this position, Chief Brickner and the 911 was our representative at that time, and they hired a consulting group to study our current radio system, which is a VHF radio system, and to look at it to see what we were going to need for the future. And so over the past about a year and a half, that consulting group has been looking at our radio needs, not only for every jurisdiction within the county, or within Dallas County, and that includes all law enforcement, EMS, and fire as well. Here several months ago, we had kind of decided that we would go kind of switch away from the VHF system to a hybrid of a VHS system and a digital system, which was called P25. During that time, the state has been putting forth proposals to transfer their entire system, which includes mostly the state law enforcement agencies, the Highway Patrol, their DOT enforcement officers, conservation, into a 700 megahertz digital system. And they believed that they had the funding for that system, and they were trying to get that up and running. And they were running into some snags and some different things. But it looked like that was really going to come through, and that's the way that they were going to go. The state was going to go through the 700 megahertz system. So we did, after some consideration of what we should do, the 911 board voted to also adopt a 700 megahertz radio system into this digital system. Several of the metro agencies have this system currently. A communication center we call Westcom, being the largest one. Westcom encompasses West Des Moines, Norwalk, Urbandale, Clive, I think I'm missing
Waukee.
And Waukee, and now Waukee. They're on a 800 megahertz system on a digital system. So the biggest reason that we decided to make this change to digital was because of the proximity of Dallas County and the encroachment of those communities into Dallas County, as well as being compatible with the state radio system. Along with that, we could get kind of the state bid prices on radios, which would help benefit us in a great deal, and we'd be able to use each other's towers, and some of basically the server system the state will allow us to use, and they will maintain that. So it kind of became a good deal for the whole county. So what will happen in the near future is that these new radio system on the 700 megahertz system will come to all law enforcement, EMS, and fire districts in the county. And the way that will be funded will be through a bond that was passed by the County Board of Supervisors. It was just approved, I think, last Tuesday. They approved an $8 million bond to pay for part of that system. The cost of the system overall is probably about $4.7 million. They will use a portion of that $8 million for that system. They will also be doing some upgrading and moving their dispatch center from its current location in downtown Adel to the old county home location, and updating their radio consoles and their communications center. The rest of the remaining of that, I think about roughly $2.5 million will be used to pay off some debt, some old bond debt, I believe it has a higher rate, I suppose. Just makes good sense at this time for them. One of the other things, so that would be a big plus. What that bond will do is will pay for that entire infrastructure of this system for everyone in the county, as well as providing those radios for each system, or each entity within the system. Every police department will get a new mobile radio for their vehicle, as well as a portable for each officer. Each fire vehicle will get a new mobile, as well as 2 portables for each vehicle. And then the EMS will get a new mobile and 2 portables for each one of their vehicles also. All that will be paid by this bond through the county. One of the things the 911 board did was they agreed in their last budget, which was approved before this 700 megahertz system was approved, was the county's consoles. Basically their base radios in their dispatch center were in need of repair, and they were having difficulty finding parts to keep them going. The 911 board did buy new consoles for Dallas County, as well as right now a new tower is being constructed, what we call the North Tower, which is out, I think, at 170th Street. It's right on the bike path if you see it just south of town. That tower was inspected last year, and there was some concern about how long it was going to last. And so we went ahead and started to move forward on that project and paid for that, or will be paying for that out of 911 funds. And like I said, that's being built as we speak. The foundation's been poured, and the pieces for the new tower are there on site. Actually, during the inspection of that, they were hoping that they would build this new tower, and then after that, they would be able to drop the old tower with a crane. But after some inspection, they're concerned about doing that, so they're going to have to build about half of the new tower, come in and take the old tower down, and then continue on with the new tower, which may cause some issues, and we're trying to work through our paging system for the fire department is on that tower at this time. So we're looking at ways to remedy that problem it'll probably be for a week or 10 days until that new tower is up and running. I guess the great thing about this system is the 700 megahertz, we will have that ability to talk to everybody in that metro agency or area, but we will also get law enforcement. All their radios will be what they call dual band, because our concern up here in this part of the county is speaking with the other jurisdictions like Guthrie County and Greene County. We work a lot with those agencies. We'll have dual band radios, so we will be able to flip not from the digital over to the VHF and be able to speak to them at the same time without much more than turning a dial. So that will be very, very helpful. They will increase the power on the EMS side. Their paging system, they won't be getting new pagers. Their paging system will be upgraded. There are spots within the county that are lacking right now, especially we talk about mainly the river bottom areas, over around Dawson, over in Woodward, and then once you get down in the Van Meter, DeSoto area, they have some issues too. So this VHS system, they'll be putting some new tower sites up that will help that problem. So if it'll work so well that if somebody here in Perry has a pager, right now their range is probably 5 to 10 miles. But even if they're working in, say, in West Des Moines or Van Meter, their pager will go off when the pager is sounded here for Perry. So, I know that's brief and I kind of jumped all around, but I guess the biggest thing is this, two things. The 911 board put a lot of money into this to help bring this process along. Kind of our buy-in for this radio project with paying for the consoles and paying for the tower.
Chief, those consoles that you're talking about, that included Perry's as well?
Yes, well, we will not be getting, our radio system, the consoles we have will be upgraded along with this whole project. They'll be getting new consoles because their consoles are to the age where they can't be replaced at this point and cannot be fixed. But ours are to the point where they can be upgraded to this digital system.
So our dispatch center will be updated and will continue to operate?
Absolutely, just like it has. Just like it has. One of the things that we will see in the future, probably 10 years or 20 years down the road, is with the buy-in that the 911 board has done. In the past, they've purchased a lot of radios for every entity within the county. We've come to them, the fire departments will come to them with radio needs, and they've been purchasing those in the past. Our fear is with the funds that will be coming in that we won't be able to do that for those four agencies any longer. Now, we're going to get these radios here, and we're expecting 10 to 20 years even out of the portables, out of the mobile radios, but in the future that we may have to start purchasing those. And we did in the past here, and this is only probably within the last 15 years that the 911 board had enough money to purchase those things, and some of that money came through grants with Homeland Security and that type of thing also. So that's what we'll look at 10, 15, 20 years down the road. What is our next step after that?
Okay, good.
And what kind of position are we in to...
Sounds like we're solid for a while anyway, that's good.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's going to move the whole county in a positive direction.
And it's nothing to do with us, but it does boggle my mind that Waukee would leave Dallas County and pay for the service through Westcom when all this is going on. But I guess they must feel more akin to the metro than they do to those of us here in Dallas County.
Yeah, and I wasn't involved in any of those conversations, so I don't really know the reasoning behind that. But yeah, we're going to be moving the same way. We're all going to be in the same, actually our system will be a little bit of an upgrade from what Westcom is right now. And I think with the state moving this way, I think it's a good positive move. I think we'll continue to build, and I think what you will see is this will move out into the rural areas too. But they're going to have that same issue. I mean, even with Dallas County, even with the funds that are coming in through their 911 board and through their county, it was a struggle to pay for this radio system. I mean, we've been working on this VHF radio system for, I don't even know how long. Nobody even could determine how old the tower was south of town. So, we've been working on that system for a very, very long time. And this will just put us forward. And those smaller agencies outside of here are going to have to make hard decisions in the future of where they're going to move to, too.
Any questions for Chief Vaughn?
Thanks, Chief.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that our surrounding counties will be able to talk to them still.
Oh, absolutely. And that was really our biggest concern, because we work hand in hand with a lot of those jurisdictions, especially Greene and Guthrie County quite a bit, and even up into Boone. And Boone went to a new radio system too, and they're having some struggles with what they put in. It's not the same system we're having, but hopefully they will get that rectified sometime soon. But yeah, ADEL, those agencies down there, we're going to talk to Westcom more, the county, but we really want to be able to talk to Greene and Guthrie.
Our neighbors.
Yeah, our neighbors, yeah.
Will we still be answering a lot of 911 calls, and does that come through the new system?
Yes, that won't affect that system at all right now.
Didn't we do some of that for Boone County or not, right here in Perry?
Well, there are a few that come from Boone County into our system. They has to be moved to our location, the landlines. Right now, the biggest ones that come here, I mean, all the landlines with the 465 prefix, and also the Dawson landlines come to our location. The cell towers that we have here in Perry, that being on the water tower, and in the old Circle B lumberyard, which is a U.S. Cellular tower, all those come here, and there's there's a tower south of town, and there's sides to those, and two of those sides come to Perry, because those are who are going to be answering those 911 calls. So when you call on your cell phone, they bounce off a certain side of that tower and come here. But we can transfer those too, but it won't affect our 911 service in any way. Soon we will be going, that will get upgraded from just voice. Soon you'll be able to text 911, and then soon here down the road, probably in a couple of years, you'll be able to send video over 911. And those would be big upgrades to both. We have two servers for 911, one here in Adel, one in here in Perry, that are maintained by the 911 board, and there may be some decisions about that, about how those are maintained and upgraded, because there'll be some costs associated with that. But with this system too, I mean, we're looking at a 5-year service, I think a 5-year service plan on it too, so most of that's going to be taken care of. We won't have to worry about for a while.
Other questions?
Sounds excellent.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for your work on this whole project.
No, it's been long, and I think probably by, here within the next month, the new tower will be done. It will be continuing on the VHF system until we get the other components in place, and then so we're probably looking by maybe the 1st of next July that we'll be on this all-digital system.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Jim?
It's not an open forum, I guess, or...
Yeah, it is open for
Oh, it is? Well, it sounds like no fiscal impact on Perry's budget.
Not at this time, no. I mean, like I said, with radios, if we have to buy more, if we add more officers, or, if we have damaged goods that we may have to pay for new radios or something like that, but right now, it's not government. So all the install, all that's, the changeover is all within that bond, including the installs with the cars and the vehicles and the fire trucks.
You said, like, video 911, like somebody could call and say, I'm being assaulted, here's a video, my assailant. Is that...
Yeah, I mean, if like, say there's some type of disturbance or something, you could actually dial 911, take video of it, real-time video, come right in. Yeah, so that's, it's not too far away. The texting, I guess there'd be certain times that you would want to text if you wanted to be quiet, the biggest thing I can always say is someone, entered your house and you're trying to be quiet and texting 911 would be a good way to use that, but like I said, something actively going on, you could actually send that video.
There's a generation today that's more inclined to text than they would call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there is. And that will be interesting, too. That all comes down.
Thank you.
Yep.
And open forum is also a time for public comments. I don't know if there's anybody that falls into that category tonight. If there is, this would be the time to come forward, state your name for the record, and say what you have to say. See none?